It already.
Yep, here we go.
And we're back.
Part 2 of the reveal and the deal.
I don't know what that means.
We back with
Oh, that was the title. Yeah, that's the first one.
Boom
Yeah, yeah.
and B-No. After the brief intermission. long intermission.
Brief for them though, you know, they don't know no better.
Right.
Edit that shit out.
Man, we had a lot to talk about, man.
Ooh,
Talked about a lot. Check, but I'm gonna let y'all go in on this for a minute. I know when we was talking coming up the road, I'm trying to recollect. Yeah, the whole. You remember we was talking about the Somalia thing?
Somalia.
Yeah.
That was today.
Yeah, we was talking about the vaccines and how they going over there vaccinating all the people, and them kids is looking all poor and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Looking all bad. All of us. I mean, you know, for all these years they've been going over there. They call them missions. Mm-hmm. Taking the missions over there and vaccinating them and stuff.
We don't know. Well, I can't speak. I know the mission thing is valuable, but that vaccine ain't necessarily been valuable. There are other experiments and shit,
but I'm saying before vaccines, what was Somalia like? That's like what to look into.
Before vaccines were created, what you mean? Before they started vaccinating people?
Right. What was Somalia looking like?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how long it go back. The missionaries been going over there since these goddamn devils been running shit, or even the precursor to running shit. That is the precursor to running shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
like, they've been over there since niggas allowed them to go up in that motherfucker.
But that's what I'm saying. My question is, what was Somalia like before the introduction of vaccinations?
Vaccinations and stuff. I mean, I don't know.
How long ago was it?
I don't never been there. So. I know that.
How long has vaccination
I know the white woman been going there
place?
For a minute. She been talking about the little kids with the
According
flies
to Health
and shit.
Affairs, we begin our history of vaccines and immunization with the story of Edward Jenner, a country doctor living in Berkeley.
Chris Jenner in there.
God dang it! You see how this shit came back?
What?
The Jenner.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about.
That's their people.
Yeah.
Direct lineage.
American Dynasty.
Yeah. Direct lineage.
1796.
Yeah, they've been in Ethiopia. Well, yeah, they've been in Ethiopia long. Growing up in
what did Somalia look like in the early 1700s?
Oh, Somalia. That's right. I think Ethiopia.
This motherfucker said Mario. What did Somalia look like in the early 1700s?
Man, fuck all that shit. What's the point of the question? Fuck Siri, man. That bitch don't know shit.
Maybe she don't, cause
you damn near gotta speak the Queen's English when you ask Siri for.
But then again, these they must be talking about tribes then in Somalia. Cause this
they, man?
What I'm saying is we must be seeing tribes or different hoods or whatever neighborhoods in Somalia, because this don't look like no bad place. It don't look like the pictures they be showing us. You know what I'm saying?
Is that the point of the discussion?
They pick and choose.
What?
They pick and choose, man, how to present shit to you.
We'll never know because we ain't never been there. It could have been pristine the whole fucking time. We ain't gonna know that. Because they present it to us how they want us to see. You know what I'm saying? Any nigga
That's the way they
post
do
some
it.
YouTube shit up, nigga. Fucking every nigga that go to Africa for the first time be like, man, they full of shit. I'm looking for little boys with flies and shit on their face, big stomachs and shit.
Right.
Ain't none of that shit. I don't even know where they find that shit at.
So ain't no purpose in that question, dude. Cause I'm thinking like,
you're under the perception that they give you. Since you've never been there, you're taking their word for it and saying, is it really like this? And all you can say is no. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Africa don't look nothing like what they say it look like. Period. Because you know
they can go to fucking a block away from here and find some shit and say
bad,
Georgia.
yeah.
This is what Georgia look like. You know, find some little inbred white dude living under a house somewhere and take some pictures and be like, Georgia is a third world fucking country, nigga. Motherfuckers ain't even, they living under houses in this motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? And that ain't even the case. But if they put it out there like that,
and niggas scared to come to Georgia because of, you know, wrong turn and shit like that.
Damn driver made nigga sleepy.
Yeah, man, I was saying
that shit that kicked my
ass. That drive home.
We got to stay on that. We don't have to stay on that because we can move right along right into this one thing right here. We done talked about we done went through the currency, the etymology, and
I'll drink it, man.
I mean,
man, that shit empty.
A lot of different things.
Just still my
which all of that brings me to this. How will I think we talked about this once before, B, and I know we done talked about it. Immigration and the robot affect the black community.
That's a wrap. Immigrants don't even stand a chance, man.
Well, we already know how the immigration affects the black community by taking all of the low-skilled jobs away that were once held by some people in the black community who don't have the skills or the wherewithal to go to college or to get a trade.
Well, that's the whole thing. We, you know, like you use that term, low skill.
Low skill, yeah.
Low skill. Like, trade is involved in that, is included in that at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, we, you know, that whole movement to get college education took away from what niggas was used to and what made more sense. You get to trade, you have a career for life.
Right.
As opposed to investing. Like, why invest? Why risk as much as going to school? At this point, there was a time when school was free, school was cheap, whatever the case is. College made sense. At this point, it just don't make no fucking sense. But we so far away from where it was like we had that conversation about trade and shit, nigga. When you were in school, it was a given couple generations ago that while you in school, they had fucking home, what was it? Not home ec, the wood shop class and shit. You know, we learn shop class and shit. Cause it was you know, you gotta learn. You a man, you gotta learn this shit. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no shop class no more. There ain't no
shop been replaced by computer classes.
Yeah, ain't no focus on those jobs that's important, but you know, not looked upon.
The only reason why college costs so much is because the federal government started guaranteeing the loans. When the federal government guaranteed the loans, that made each college able to add more each year because they know they're gonna get it back, so they can charge more money for the same shit. That the previous year, it's gonna cost you $500 more this year, on average. You know what I'm saying? I know $7.
What's the $500? Oh, it's just, you know,
that shit went up every year. Tuition went up every fucking year,
and it still probably work like that, even if it's just incremental, like
just because
on little shit.
Just because the government guarantees the loans.
And
if the government didn't guarantee the loans, the colleges would not have a guaranteed source of money to rob. So they couldn't just keep jacking with their prices. They would have to keep them competitive and moderate those prices and keep them at, you know, a certain level. Now they don't have to because the federal government just carte blanche gives the motherfuckers money to shit everybody with. The thing is, interest is a controlling factor in all financial dealings that we do. It shouldn't be, but it is. Even by the rules, you know, given by the God in the Bible, you shouldn't charge usury. You know what I'm saying? On your own people. You shouldn't do that. But we have no idea what usury is, so we think interest is part of the damn.
Usury, man.
Yeah, you know.
If they ban usury, Man, a whole lot of people go out of fucking business right now. Today.
You said they go out of business? Yeah, banks would go out of business.
Usually, it wasn't that long ago when it was illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for real, like, you can't do it. Now, like, loan sharks and shit, you can't do that shit. You can't loan out money and loan out $100 and expect to get $125 next week. That's fucking nuts, nigga.
Because you only loaned them $100. What the fuck they gonna get $25 from?
In a week. How you even calculate that shit? That's what a payday loan is. Like, we give you $500 today, we need $600 next week. Like, that shit don't make sense. Nah, man, that's a little extreme.
But those bastards be wanting like $1,200 off $500, because they can charge as much interest as they want. Those are not even regulated. And then they say, well, the need is there because the people can't qualify for loans in the regular environment.
How they do it?
So we give them these loans, and they use them. They don't use them out of desperation. And then once they get caught, they can't pay the shit back.
Motherfuckers who got decent credit can't get a business loan, and you gonna use that excuse.
What about what you were talking about? What we were talking about that one time you had brought it up about the pay to live.
Yeah, that's the only different thing. That's just getting humans out the way.
Yeah,
loans won't be worth a damn then unless
loans aren't worth a damn.
Stop conflating things, man. Or you gotta think it through, man. Like, that pay to live shit is you get a check for staying the fuck out the way. We ain't even gonna ask you to work, nigga. Just get the fuck out the way.
Oh, that's a universal basic income.
Right, yeah.
That's bullshit. That's a major control factor.
It's not possible.
Oh,
it's possible for sure.
We on our way there.
Dumbasses will accept that all day long
because
they don't have to do nothing. But you're giving your control of everything you do is given to you by the fucking government. Who wants that?
Well, I think a lot of people are concerned with being forced to do things too.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing. Is you really don't have a choice at a point. You get to a point you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice.
They bottle. You know what's the word?
Bottleneck.
And railroads you into having to choose two fucked up options.
What would that life look like?
It would look like shit, nigga.
So
like bullshit because you can only get the money that they give you. You can't go out working for no extra money. You can't save no extra money. You can't go get a second job to afford nothing extra than what you've been getting.
Just like they doing it now. So you got Social Security. My pops is what 64, about to be 65, 2021. So he retired. Well, it was early to him because he had issues with his hand and shit. They gave him the option. You could go ahead and retire now or wait till the retirement age, quote unquote, and, avoid these penalties or whatever. And he like, okay, so can I start collecting a check and still work? And they're like, just like unemployment. We'll give you this money, but you can't earn no other money. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you earn outside of this is going to have to come out of this type shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Got to take it back.
So if we give you $350 and you go out and earn $200, we gonna need $200 back because you compensated. So that pretty much forced motherfuckers to sit on their ass. Like, fuck it, I might as well not do shit. It all makes sense until you look at the big picture. Like, they railroading you into a situation where
you're dependent on them.
Right.
You're not dependent on yourself. Even with Social Security, that's a little strange because people pay into Social Security, so they actually owe that money back. But with a universal basic income, you will set a certain group of people will get this amount, period. For the rest of their fucking life. It ain't going up. It ain't increasing. You just deal with what the fuck you deal with. And that's the worst thing that you could ever think about from a government or from a capitalist situation, to have people who are locked into a position financially and they can't get out. That's another form of being a slave.
Shit.
You can't do nothing else. You got to do what they do
think for yourself,
with what they give you.
So where's the
that's
from what we've already said? It's already begun.
Well, they've been talking about it, yeah. And they got a lot of intellectuals, a lot of college folk are behind it. You know what I'm saying? They said, well, I think UBI is great because it's not going to affect you.
Well, you on the other side of it.
Right.
You elite because, you know, beyond just what was it? UBI. It's the philosophy of the whole, if you ain't contributing directly to this thing, then we don't need you around.
You're basically a useless eater.
That whole thing. If you're a useless eater and we get our people to accept that whole philosophy of anybody other than you because you are one of the ones that's chosen, you actually a programmer or you do something for this technocracy shit, then, you know, you good. But your brother who don't know shit about computers and don't have no interest in that,
he ain't shit.
He ain't of no use to us.
Right.
To society. So just let him go. We're gonna keep you here. He's just gonna give him this nigga a check and have him just stay the fuck out the way. Just clean up after yourself, nigga.
And they gonna put them in all in one part of town because that's the only shit that they can afford. Is that part of town. They're gonna be subjugated to areas in each state or city or whatever. It's gonna be conducive for them because they can only afford what they were given to pay out with.
Like Black Mirror, nigga.
So that
when they all in that box, that big ass building.
Even with that, they're creating. Demolition Man is being created.
Yeah, nigga, we talk about Demolition Man.
So it's not something that, It's not something that we that we have to build ourselves. They're actually creating it. You know, in Demolition Man, the people went underground on their own choice. But now forced. This is. Were they forced because they were trying to
get the fuck away from danger, nigga, like a roach, nigga. When there's a fire overhead, go the other way, nigga.
But the people above ground were trying to actually get rid of them
because they didn't want to
look at the psychology of it.
But now
it's nothing is forced. You know what I'm saying? They give you options, like not to say it's not forced, it's nothing is forced, but it's never that obvious or blatant. Nudges and shit, like. We create an environment where you can't live here, and then hopefully you're going to figure it out and leave. If not, you're going to die in this shit. So we're going to nudge you and nudge you and nudge you. And then you're going to move. Like, all this shit is just nudges and shit, nigga. Like, control. You know, mechanisms and shit. Like, even with the money thing, they don't tell you can't make other money. It's just, if you make this other money, we're going to need the money that we give you back.
Now, with universal basic income, they're going to tell them you can't make no more money.
Yeah, I'm talking about like Social Security, unemployment. If we give you a certain amount, you can't go out and make on your own another and be able to think you're going to keep that. We need our money back and you keep your money. You can't do both.
So you can't do both. Man, that's crazy.
What's that?
That's crazy to push a person out like that. And I still say that you're creating the Demolition Man. You're creating the Demolition.
Basically, well, they're going to create that whole scenario. So and that's what they want. They want to have the rich and the poor. They don't want no in between.
They want it clear.
They want rich and poor, haves, have-nots.
Which all is going to probably come from the corporate mind and the corporate entities who are probably basically going to create this, right?
Yep, that's who.
They're the ones that stand the game.
We know that these corporate people, the government, and everything, at least from what I've read, me personally, deals with a lot of symbolism. So, what would you say?
It's not a no.
What symbol? How does symbolism within the structure equate with what's going on up to this day?
Communication.
It goes back to the etymology.
Etymology.
It goes back to the etymology.
But it's even more powerful than that because with the symbology,
you don't need words.
Right. You're using those symbols, and they already know what those symbols mean to them.
Right.
So once you put that out there, that's a symbol for this is coming. So you need to behave in this way, or you need to do this action, or you need to sell this stock, or get rid of this thing, or do this.
This shit right here about to happen.
So
people that need to know
know
by me sending out this bat fucking, the bat signal.
So let's talk about the sticks and stones.
What about the sticks and stones?
When we was coming up the road,
I remember something.
We had said something about you were saying, why would you even make such a term like that?
Oh yeah.
Why would you even make such a term like that when etymology is so important? Why would you say sticks and stones may break my bone, but words will never hurt me?
Yeah.
When you're actually being put in the spell through the etymology.
Yeah, I think it means
so. Was that a term?
I think it means something.
Well, the words themselves can't hurt you. Not without an action behind the words.
We was saying on the way here how words are so important. Words are used as weapons, whether you recognize it or not. If they're being used against you, and then he threw that stick and star. I was like, yeah, that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's setting the kids up to, minimize the worth and effect of words. But it's more of a small level, that's some bullshit situation right there.
And that was more of a thing where that people are talking about you.
Right. Stupid.
In that context, you don't let those words hurt you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then your feelings, you don't let them get into your feelings like that. Not like nowadays where they have all kind of people worried about whatever you say. It bothers somebody. So they'll cancel you over what you said because it bothers somebody. You know what I'm saying? That sticks and stones shit don't work nowadays because obviously words do hurt people. You can't call them. You can call them whatever pronoun that they want you to call them, as long as they want you to call them that pronoun.
Well, shit, these younger folks nowadays, they ready to throw sticks and stones back. So they ain't worrying about no words, or you say the damn wrong thing and they amping out gate.
They're ready to fight.
Yeah, out gate. Ain't they ready to shoot.
So they're more affected by the words than we are.
That's a good question.
Is that a good thing or bad?
It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. I mean, that's off the rip. You can tell that's a bad thing because it makes people act out and react instead of thinking before they act. When you acting off of what somebody says and does out of your feelings, that makes you a very unstable character. You can't trust somebody who acts out of their feelings because they might feel good one day and treat you well. They might feel bad another day and treat you bad. When you act out of your feelings, you inherently gonna treat somebody wrong or do some shit that is inherently evil because feelings have no honor, they have no morals, none of that shit.
It just don't make sense, just like leaving on the couch.
Or it could mean that motherfuckers ain't having it.
So check this out.
Motherfuckers tired of that shit and they ain't having it.
Right. So which one is probably can you separate symbolism and etymology? Can we separate?
They're not together.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 separate.
So which one is worse? Which one would you call worse? The symbolism or the etymology?
You can't
more effective, you mean?
Yeah.
More effective. Let's say it like that.
Symbolism. Because you don't need to break anything down to know what they mean.
You don't know the symbols.
That's what makes it more effective.
That's the whole thing. It's not for you. If you don't know what the symbol means, it's not for you. They're not talking to you.
Then it's so much more effective.
They're talking to the people that know what the fuck it means.
They not having the answers, questions from motherfuckers like you. Like, man, what you saying? I don't know what none of that shit means.
So the symbols aren't
because you ain't catching it in the first motherfucking place. You know what I'm saying?
So the symbols aren't to.
I saw what you said.
Aren't to hurt
what
you.
What that mean?
You should be able to interpret.
If you run in those circles, yes. If you don't run in those circles, then no. You can't interpret something you have no idea exists.
Yeah, like seeing fucking was it one of them little logos and shit. You see it a million times until you realize what it is.
Well,
then you see it completely different.
Well, I remember us talking one time about
the fist,
the symbolism in this.
right?
This didn't totally come from.
I don't know where it came from. I know
Right.
it's been used in a whole bunch of different.
Or even the swastikas.
Yes. That really got an origin. Like that's founded. You know,
Different symbols that we, try to either relate with.
but that was adopted and readopted and shit. Like, they adopted it and made it what they wanted it to be. Like the fucking rainbow. The rainbow meant whatever it meant for however long, and motherfuckers came along and said, I want it to mean this, and now we mean that. It still mean what it originally meant, but in our society, in our matrix.
Yep.
It
It has its ancillary meaning now.
Right.
So
I could wear a fucking 100-year-old shirt with a rainbow on it, but just because today a rainbow means something else, motherfuckers be looking at my shit like, yo, this thing is rainbow? Rainbow is gay as fuck. Like, I'd be like, nah, this is some old fucking vintage fucking. It don't really matter what it used to mean today, because what it means today is what all that really matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but just like its beginnings, going back to what B was saying about the beginnings of something, how the state is first. Can today's symbolism of something that started a long time ago overpower what it was from the jump? You see what I'm saying? So you still using it, you still giving it their energy.
You know the answer to that because they do. That's what they do. Like, look at the swastika, nigga. The Nazis was around. Whatever it meant prior to the Nazis didn't matter to the mainstream. You know what I'm saying? Like they come and steal native people's shit and make it what the fuck they want to make it, and the native looking at it like, yo, you wearing blah blah, and they like, oh nah, this shit just fresh as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, nigga, that's what it is. The people within the white thing see it as what the white motherfuckers say it mean. Fuck what the originator said it, man.
Pete, what would you say to that? Would you say it could overpower the new meanings of the symbols?
It's just for that time.
I'm just asking.
It's just for that time that you're in, on how those people make their interpretations. You know what I'm saying? Their perception is their reality. So if they perceive it to be
same thing with the rebel flag.
Yeah, that's what they perceive it to be. It doesn't overtake anything because the original meaning is always there. It's like I say, how something begins is how it was meant to be. You don't start, like, let's say with the Democratic Party. Democratic Party started under the slave ship, because they were Southerners and that's what they liked. Now the Democratic Party encompasses a lot of the ancestors of the slaves. It's a duality thing going on where one group thinks...
What? You said they encompass?
Yeah, a lot of black people are Democrats, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Back in the day, a lot of black people were not Democrats. Because Democrats had slaves, not unless you were a slave owner.
Openly, yeah.
And they didn't have black slave owners. There's a lot of them. So with that in mind, you can't change the history, the historical beginnings of something and change it to what you want it to be. That's not going to happen.
The original was always the original.
It's always the original. You might not refer to it, but it's always the original. It's always there.
Do we need to?
Like a car is a Model T more than it's a fucking whatever Ford is now. You know what I'm saying?
You always need to refer to the original meanings of, let's say, symbols, words, and all that stuff, simply because.
Not Model T. What was it? Model A, I guess.
It was a Model T for
Model
Ford.
T was the first running, like.
That's the first
produced.
mass-produced car, yeah. But you can't change the history of a group or a word or actions based off of the modern day interpretation. It doesn't change what it is. It doesn't change how it was began. Its beginning is still the same. So you might have somebody say, well, Democrats are full black people now. And then you got to look at the work that Democrats have done that has positively affected black people. If you can't find work that positively affected black people, then they are not for black folk.
Let me ask this then. Why do you feel that the pandering to black people is so out of control, so high right now? Why all of a sudden are you we've never felt this before, and now all of a sudden you just pandering like a little baby?
Because it's accepted. If black folk didn't accept the pandering, would they do it?
I think the black vote is very important. They can't say that. They can't give us too much credit. Roundabout, they say it every time.
They say without the black vote, he can't do this. Without the black vote, you can't do this. But the black vote by itself, you can't go forward just with the black vote.
Right. Not on its own.
So if you need the black vote to buoy or to push up a candidate in the area, but the black vote won't push a black candidate into the arena to play in at all, what good is the black vote outside of being an ancillary push up to somebody else's dreams? You know what I'm saying? If you can't use a black vote to vote your people in because you don't have enough black folk against what they call white folk, what's the good of having a black vote if you can't push your people in? If you can only help somebody else out, what good are you? You can never get anything done for your fucking self because you're just helping somebody else out. We've been at 13% population in North America for forever. Why is that?
I don't think it.
It's not true. It's not true at all.
What?
That we're 13% of the population.
I wouldn't think so.
Well, you know, they would have never made the eugenics program if we were just 13% of the population. Okay? They would have never started abortion if we were just 13% of the population. They wouldn't push abortion on us.
Since abortion been around,
how many babies have been aborted?
How the fuck is it still 13%? All the babies, black babies, they kill. And black people in general, they kill.
And black people killing each other. Like in Macon.
That's
they had 58 shootings in a year. You know what I'm saying? All them black folk. Why? And plus the abortions that they had. Monthly.
So I was at 13%. Either it's less or it's more.
It's got to be more.
Always be 13.
It's got to be more. You can't stay stagnant at 13% for decades. That's impossible.
So
as much fucking as our people be doing and all these babies I be seeing out here, that's fucking impossible.
Especially compared to the majority.
So old Joe,
they have one or two. That's it.
So old Joe is the lame duck to us. He is the lame duck.
Old Joe has been in
he
Congress.
Ain't even president yet.
Yeah.
He
been in. Well,
we could talk about that too, but
you know that's funny about the presidency, but you know.
You want to talk about
it? The inauguration.
Oh, you still? I don't know what the deal is with that shit, but you still in denial about the whole thing?
Who?
The whole election thing.
Who in denial?
I'm asking. I don't know.
Well, I don't know nothing about. All I know is that all the elections are rigged. Because they give you they give you a choice of who you can choose. That's first.
Yeah, I mean it's all bullshit. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Like, just the construct of what it is. Like,
it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. The things that they did in this election were blatant and obvious, and they're telling us that they didn't happen. That nothing like that happened. We didn't see what we saw. They didn't stop counting votes at a certain point in time and then resume counting. You know, they didn't do none of that. All the vote machines worked perfectly. There were no switching of votes or flipping votes. None of that. None of that shit happened. None of that.
They do that shit every year.
I'm just saying, bro, because the Democrats complained about it, and they had their own shit going against Dominion voting at one point.
When the tables turn, niggas be mad. That's all it is. When Trump took it, it was like, yeah, motherfucker, we won. And now Trump, you know,
what did Trump say when he won?
I don't know what Trump said, but I know what the people that supported Trump said.
I'll tell you, Trump said the election is rigged. He said, I won, but it's still a rigged election.
Okay.
You want to know why? Because it's rigged. They wanted her to win. She
we
would
all
have
know
won.
it's rigged. My thing is, we all know it's rigged.
I'm just saying. No,
the fact
we
that
don't.
He say shit that we all know.
Everybody
give him more.
The masses don't think that it's rigged, and he called it that it was rigged when he won.
They're not gonna ever think they could see it on the news, nigga. At this point, they're not gonna.
That's their fault because you can't watch the news and expect them to tell you any type of truth. We know this to be true.
I get all that shit, man. I'm just saying.
They watch it just like we watch it, and they tell us, man, that shit didn't happen. You just saw them sit there and lie to you for 4 years and say this man was a Russian plant. Did they have any evidence of that? No. Did they have evidence of fraud? No. So both of them are baseless claims, but yet one had a 3-year investigation funded by the government, and the other one gets thrown out of court at any chance to get because it goes against the narrative that they want to push. Okay? It's not about the truth. It's about what they want to push.
Man, all them full of shit.
Exactly.
So why is it even worth talking, having a conversation?
It's worth having a conversation because they are fooling the people. And they are using false narratives and false truth to rule over the people and control the people.
So if like we got this two sides of the same bird, motherfucking Democrat, Republican, all that bullshit. So then we got the media, all these niggas in cahoots. You know, ain't no sides, nigga. It's all a gang, nigga. Them niggas had parties and shit behind the scenes. Like, great fucking speech today, Bill. Great fucking. I like how you rebutted me, Bob. You made me look bad for 5 minutes. Oh, that was great. I'll have a drink.
Because they all on the same team, right?
Yeah, so what the fuck? Who cares? Like it's.
But we're the only ones that don't see it. Like, we're the only one that don't see it because, case in court. An example: the prosecutor and the defense attorney. They're both agents of the court, so they both work for the same entity. Neither one of them is trying to get you off or trying to do anything for you. To them, it's just business. To them, it's commerce. All right? Because every court charge has a financial stipulation attached to it. So it's just commerce. Just them applying admiralty law on the land. And that's admiralty law at its best is a court case. Because all of those are pirates.
So, with that being said, it's like they all in the same, beholden to the same thing, the bar, what is it, British
it's just
accreditation,
it's just,
registry,
it's
whatever.
It's just a bar. We can't even say that no more because they've made that such a moot point.
What's that?
That you can't find out about the British accreditation registry. What does it mean?
What?
I've talked to legal folks, and they said, the bar is just that little bar that's in the courtroom. I said, so why do you need a card to do that then? But they have no other things other than that, and they've screwed up information from the web, which purports and goes back to show you what it was. That's why I'm saying you can't say that because you can't prove outside of a certain time period. And I got to get back to some literature from pre-1970s that has that information in it. But you can't say it out loud without having the proof because you got to be able to prove shit to motherfuckers nowadays. Got to have something to go back to.
So you can't even make that statement without my.
I mean, you can all day, but you don't have nothing to back it up with.
Somebody gonna rebut me for saying that? Based on what now?
Already been that. Huh?
Based on what now?
Based on it not being... Based on the inability of you being able to find anything stating British accreditation registry. Nothing on the internet says that. There's no bar like that on the internet. All of my searches for the past 15 years have come up blank. In the beginning, you could find stuff, but they wiped it clean, slowly but surely, because they figured it out. Because why do you have to have? That's the thing. The original 13th Amendment. What was that about?
13th.
The original 13th Amendment.
I don't know.
What's the 13th Amendment about now?
I don't even know. What?
Freedom
Imprisonment
of
and
slaves.
shit. Yeah.
Shit
Right.
like that, right?
Yeah,
The original one was about titles of nobility. Being called attorney, counselor, a knight. You know what I'm saying? Any title of nobility that came from the king or the queen could not be used in the United States because they made that separation.
Yeah.
And they would not allow you to go into government with those titles because you can't be trusted.
Represent yourself as the fucking enemy. Right.
Right. So now they have a lot of people in government that are of that. And you see where we're at now. We don't have anything for our government. We have everything for everybody else's shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. You had a government that investigated a candidate for the presidency of the United States based off of information that was paid for and bought by his political opponent. Yet when this same object of their witch hunt said something about his political opponent's issues in another country, he was then impeached. But the American people don't see it like that. They see it like he was doing something wrong, so they impeached him. But they didn't have no crime behind the impeachment. When Clinton got impeached, he got impeached for abuse of power and lying. Two things he did. He abused his power and he lied. He lied on the stand, and he abused his power to keep shit from happening to him for lying on the stand. So,
I thought he had me.
So what?
I thought you had my lighter.
he was like this. You got that purple lighter? That ragged ass lighter.
But even though they did all that,
For what?
they did all that with the for
For what? To tarnish his image, and they were trying to get him out. That's what I called at that point in time. I called that a soft coup. Very soft coup.
What you talking about?
When Trump came in, and the Russian collusion theory and all that shit.
I'm just playing.
Yeah, but it's not about him.
Love you, Trump.
No, it's not that either. It's that somebody did wrong. And just because he is who he is, people allow that wrong to go unpunished. And for government, that is what I consider to be the death knell of the government, where you can have your personal feelings come into a political government action and allow the government to do nefarious actions based on your feelings for this person.
Right.
So therefore that takes the government out of it, and it becomes a personal vehicle for those people who want to get that person out. Now anybody can use the government to do what they did to him at any point to anybody else, because nobody's ever stood up and said, man, this shit is wrong. Y'all need to be held accountable. I don't see nobody hanging and swinging from trees for this shit. I don't. And that's sedition and treason off the rip. That you tried to get him out of office before he even came in.
Is Trump a whistleblower?
No. Not in the technical sense of the word, no. Because he don't have no protections and he didn't blow the whistle. We saw them do this. He didn't have to blow a whistle. We saw it and we accepted it because most of us dislike Trump. And
Is his presidency a whistleblowing presidency?
No.
Because a lot of stuff was revealed through his presidency.
But it wasn't whistleblowing through his presidency. It was put out in the open as a juxtaposition to what normally happened and what's happening now. It was put out there just like that. See, what people don't recognize is that his presidency showed you how the extent of the corruption of the federal government. It showed the extent of it. How massive it is, how wide it is, how deep it is. It showed it. Yet and still, we still don't see the
collusion.
The danger of having a government that can be easily manipulated as it was against him.
a government that could be manipulated against him by who? By the people?
By the people in the government. Yeah, the bureaucrats in government. The government did that. The DOJ, the FBI, they went after him themselves. They investigated him for 3 years. So you're going to say the people? No, the people didn't do none of that shit. The people were sitting, some of the people were sitting back saying, why y'all bothering that man? And the other half was like, lock his ass up. Because they had the media saying that he was a Russian plant, a Russian agent, but they didn't have any proof of this. They had nothing. It was baseless. It was ignorant at its best.
Is CNN a Democratic news station?
Does it sound like
and
a Democratic?
Fox is a Republican?
No, because they're all owned by the same 6 companies.
Okay.
So how can either one of them be more than what their owners will let them be? If you ain't paid attention, Fox has lost its share of its market because they are starting to act like the other ones. In the beginning, you could stand them apart. And people say, oh yeah, that's Fox News. They're going to say that because they can say it because it was 5 against 1. Now they're all saying the same thing. Because they're all owned by the same entities.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
CNN
seem to be going against Trump.
They all going against
Fox
Trump,
seem
brother.
to be going for
no, they're not going for nobody. If you hadn't paid, now there might be a show. Tucker Carlson might say things on this show that'll be pro-Trump at times, or that point out the hypocrisy of the government, but they're not for Trump. You understand what I'm saying? You can't be for Trump. You can't. You're either going to be for the Constitution or against it. You're going to be for the Republic or against it. Trump is a man.
Well, it seems like CNN is for Democrats and
CNN is for the corporate media. Okay?
I say fuck all of them niggas.
That too. CNN is corporate media. Okay? They let you know what they feel because that's their talking points they want to push out there. That's how they do. That's how they control. Fox is a corporate media. It is the same. It's just not on the same level as CNN. CNN will dictate to you the news that they want you to hear in the way that they want you to hear it. Project Veritas has proved that with the tapes that they leaked on their morning calls where they sit back and say, well, this is what we're going to talk about. It's all scripted. And you can say it's democratic. It's actually not democratic because, the people don't run CNN. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any Democratic politicians that they're siding. They're just against Trump. Right? So everybody just want to get Trump out. That's all they want. So it can be business as usual. With Trump in it was not business as usual.
Burn him at the stake.
That's what they want to do. And they keep saying he's going to go to jail when he get out of prison. Out of presidency because the states are going to bring charges against him and lock him up like the Southern District of New York. They said, yeah, well, they have his taxes and they know he's been doing this.
Yeah, he a crook.
And, well...
Yeah, he a crook. Fuck him.
He might be a crook. But...
Is
one thing you got to look at, though, statute of limitation on them crimes that they're saying, yeah. Because if it's a state crime, it has a limitation to how long it's been. And these 4 years might have pushed them over the edge on them. A lot of those limitations that they're looking for. No, none of them ever go to jail.
It's just some shit to talk to distract people.
But think about this. If they allow him to get arrested, then that sets a bad precedent for all the other presidents that's coming after him and for those before him that have committed actual crimes. Like war crimes.
Obama owned. We treated him so nicely.
Especially when he ran out of bombs bombing people. You remember that one?
Ran out of bombs.
Yeah, some bitch bombed so much he ran out of bombs. They had to put a pause in the bombing nigga because he bombed people so much He ran out of fucking bombs. They had to build back up the inventory. That was good for the military-industrial complex. But this is the only country I know of that they will fight and make laws to keep people fighting wars. Afghanistan, they made a law that the president can't take him out of Afghanistan. Now he didn't sign it; he vetoed it. You know what I'm saying? He vetoed the NDAA, and a lot of people weren't paying attention to that. That's what they had in there. You know. So
as far I know, you gonna want to talk about this one though.
What?
The whistleblowers.
What about? We already did one.
Right, but I'm saying I'm leading into something. Why is Snowden able to be in Russia and have asylum in Russia?
Why are you thinking what you mean?
Is he giving intel?
Oh man, I'm on sorry, man.
he don't have no intel to give.
He don't have any, so
You know what he did, right?
Boone done left the building for a minute, but we're gonna keep.
But you know what Snowden did, right? Snowden put the crimes of the U.S. military out there on blast. Every crime that the U.S. military has done, he put on blast.
What does Russia have to do with it though? Why are they holding him? Why are they?
Because they can.
So that wouldn't have nothing to do with them hacking.
No.
Okay.
They didn't hack anything.
This is what I'm saying. I've never heard of Russia Town.
Yeah. You got Chinatown. Yeah.
I've never seen a Russian in the Pentagon. But I've heard of Chinatown, and I've heard of Sony. And Sony been around for years.
Sony's Japanese though, buddy.
Whatever. Over there in Asia Minor.
You can't be like that, Sanchez. Not you can't do that.
Okay, well there's a Chinatown, there's Chinese in the Pentagon. Who's really hacking the system? If the system's being hacked.
Well,
or is that just a ploy?
It's a ploy on their end because they said the DNC was hacked, right?
DNC.
Democratic National Convention.
Democratic National Convention.
That's who was hacked. By the Russians.
Huh.
And they gave all the information that helped keep Hillary from being the president. That's a claim. Who made up that claim? Hillary Clinton herself made that claim up. So that they wouldn't be looking into her emails because she had a private server. Her private server had been hacked by every fucking country in the world because it didn't have no encryption on it for the first couple of years she had it. Or at least the first couple of months. It had the same encryption that Gmail has. Instead of using the government server like she was supposed to, she used a private server. And everybody lied about their conversations with her through her emails because she only used that server. So everybody in government that talked to her on that server knew she was using a private server.
So who's hacking now?
Whoever, everybody. Shit. Good God, man. I mean, it's not just one person. Not just one entity. You know what I'm saying? That new hack that they had, what they call the SolarWinds hack, where they put in the malware to the downloads. The American government has a third party that manages its downloads and software and shit like that because they're too big and too, braggadocious to do it themselves. So they had that SolarWinds hack that came from outside agencies, and they say it's Russia that did that. That's what they claim. But they haven't done any investigation to find out who did it because it could be a myriad of actors because you do have Iraq, Iran. You know what I'm saying? Those are two actors. North Korea. You have a lot of people that don't like the United States. Because the United States is an evil entity. It has done things that most countries would say are acts of war. But since the United States is so powerful, they don't have the power to come against them. So they just let it ride. Like Obama drone striking in your fucking country. Killing 30, 40 people. Just to kill one person. It's an act of war. But do they come and fight them for it? No. They go to the world court and log in petitions and try to get motherfuckers seen as war criminals. But the United States has veto power in the UN, so they knock out a lot of that shit.
Right. Well,
You don't fuck with Snowden?
Snowden?
Yeah.
Snowden told people the truth.
Oh, right, okay. Because when I walked out, I heard you say,
No, he was asking.
Snowden ain't say shit or something like that. He ain't having nothing to say about it.
No, he was he didn't do anything illegal to the people.
Right.
He did something illegal against his confidentiality.
Yeah, technically treasonous type of shit.
Yeah, I mean, if you call it that, you know, but let me know that the government's been spying on me.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I can understand why the government would be mad at him.
Yeah.
For not, you know,
Yeah.
for disclosing that information. Yet still, I'm not willing to absolve the government for you doing it. I think they should be held accountable for everything that they've done.
Who, the government or him?
The government.
What about him?
He didn't do nothing wrong to me.
It's that simple to me.
He did nothing wrong, and since he
But
did,
to any quote unquote whistleblower, it's the same shit. Like you doing this, cause you know the danger you under by doing what you're doing.
I mean, that's just like the whistleblowers in the election. You know, those people who came forth with their truth, they weren't listened to.
Brother, I think you gonna have to get over that whole Trump thing, right?
We can't get over it. We can't. Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth, and I'm
rap on that.
I'm gonna say it just like I know it. If you can ignore that, then you can kiss
I
this
don't
country
ignore
goodbye.
shit. I know I have to ignore it every fucking time it happens.
Right. You can kiss this
When
country goodbye.
When Gore, you know that whole Bush thing.
There is no honor
that was
here.
the beginning for me.
Well, actually, the
In my
beginning.
lifetime.
Well, how old are you?
40.
Yeah, actually.
But Bush and Gore was my
your beginning was
reality
actually was Clinton.
Reality check. No, that stick out of my head. Like,
Oh, okay.
I was too young for Clinton.
Well, if you're 40, I got you about 9 years. You was around when he was
I was
doing all that shit.
I was like middle school.
Yeah, he was doing all that shit then. You know,
90s.
grabbing bitches' asses and shit, and
Right.
making them suck his dick in the Oval Office and shit.
That Gore Bush shit was just like, wow, for real, nigga.
And now they ignoring that shit to let Biden be the president. The very same issue that they had in Florida with the hanging chads. Texas made a suit based off of that. And the Supreme Court was like, no, we're not going to hear it. But then the Federal Appeals Court hears the case and says, well, you don't have standing because of this. So which one is it?
Right.
Is
Can't
it
have
that you...
both ways.
Right. And that's my problem with it.
Especially in law.
But this is a nation of laws.
Right.
So if the nation of laws doesn't follow its own law...
In a bad way.
That's my whole point. That's why I keep bringing up Trump. You say you got to get over it. No, you can't. Because you can't get over it because somebody broke the law. Somebody's not being held accountable, and they're in high positions. When they're in high positions, they're not held accountable. It's time for that governor to be gone. Because the next thing they're going to do is lock people up and kill them, and somebody's going to make excuses for it to say it's legal. Watch what I fucking say.
Trump pardoned all these people.
Huh?
Trump pardoned all these motherfuckers. He pardoned. He giving everybody, all his peoples a pardon.
Yeah, who cares?
But he ain't pardoned damn Bill Cosby though, man. Come on, man. Bill 89 years old, man. Let Bill out, man. Free Bill, man.
Free Bill, man.
Yeah, we would love Bill to be free, but we know Bill still
Fuck
got
Woody
that
Allen,
skin.
yo. Fuck Woody Allen, son.
He
Fuck
still got
nigga.
that. He still got that skin thing going on. So
Fuck that
as
nigga.
long as his skin look like this,
Free OJ. Real shit.
his skin look like this, they ain't freeing Bill. They gonna let him run his time
Lock
out.
up Chris Darden. Lock that motherfucker up. Christopher Darden. Lock that nigga up. How about that?
You know what I'm saying? They let Harvey Weinstein off.
Yeah, lock that nigga up. Harvey Weinstein.
They let the other motherfucker off. What's his name? Jeffrey Epstein. They
Lock
let him
Hillary
off.
Clinton ass up. You know what I'm saying?
They let
and
her
Bill
off.
Clinton. Lock both of them motherfuckers
Let him
up.
off. Okay?
You know what I'm saying?
That bitch, she had a fucking...
And that bitch down in Florida, too.
Foundation.
Marshall Schultz, she got to go, too.
Oh, boy, that motherfucker, she had to resign. She was so crooked. She resigned from the Democratic Party as the head of the Democratic Party after they cheated Bernie Sanders.
Why is nobody being held accountable?
And Laura Luper need to be locked up, too.
Because most of the people in D.C., most of the judges are all complicit with the same shit.
I don't understand. We the people.
What?
We the people.
And Bill Gates, fuck that nigga too.
We the people. I don't understand how you mean they can't be held accountable and we the people.
Because the people are not the ones that are holding people accountable.
Bureaucrats.
The bureaucrats hold them accountable.
Who else? Fuck that nigga. Who else?
The people that be in the government for 20 and 30 years and make a career out of the government. Those are bureaucrats.
Bernie Sanders, he need to be fucking locked up too. Fuck that nigga.
You can't trust that then. If that's the case, there's no way we can trust this.
Sanchez, that's what I've been saying the whole fucking time.
Damn.
Kanye West 2024. Kanye West. That's what we rolling with.
It's gonna be Ice Cube 2024.
Okay, I'll fuck with Cube.
Ice Cube and we need a woman.
Pick any of them coons.
We need a woman.
Man, this shit would have to be flipped and smacked up, flipped and rubbed down.
Oh no.
Fucked real good in order to, you know what I'm saying, to change this shit so it don't matter who get in there. If it ain't smacked up, flipped and rubbed down first.
Oh no.
The first black president was a mulatto mixed with a white and a black. The first so-called black vice president is mixed with a Jamaican and an Indian.
She ain't black.
I said so-called. So you have, in that instance, when they gonna give somebody who's really black a chance to run it?
Niggas get nothing.
Right. But we ain't never figured that out. We still right behind the pandering, that pandering shit that you were talking about. We'll ride behind somebody that looks like us.
Where's Shirley Chisholm at? Where's she at?
But ain't us.
You know what I'm saying? Where's she at?
But when she ran for president,
where Dick Gregory at?
When he ran for president,
where them niggas at?
You know what I'm saying?
They get no love. You know what I'm saying? The real niggas. Yeah, I said it, motherfucker.
You got these half-breeds. The half-breeds can run it, but they ain't never went through what we went through. Barack Obama never went through what we went through.
Barack Obama ain't black. Fuck that nigga.
Hey,
he needs to be locked up too. Fuck that nigga. How about that? Yeah, I said it.
Y'all can tell the show. I can tell when the show comes to an end because niggas getting sleepy and just start.
We ain't gonna blame this on sleep though.
Start talking and just saying.
It is. Because certain things need to happen, man. I mean, you know.
All them niggas need to firing squad.
He say that all the time though. He do be saying that shit all the time.
Say what?
Certain shit need to be said and certain shit need to be happening.
Guantanamo Bay is all I know.
This is necessary.
If they didn't allow McCain to die when he died,
fuck that nigga too. How about that?
You know what I'm saying? Because if it weren't for him, that dossier never would have seen the light of day. His people pushed that dossier. There were illegal actions that went on that need to be taken care of. And I'm going to keep saying this shit until I die. Because ain't nothing going to happen. I can see it now. And everybody going to forget about it. Like, man, Trump wasn't this, Trump wasn't that. No, Trump wasn't shit. Trump was an asshole. Trump's a fucking egotistical bastard. He don't know how to talk to people. But the one thing that motherfucker did, he joned everybody that came across his face.
Mike Pence 2024. Mike Pence 2024.
Robot Pence.
Motherfucking right. We need real cyborgs, nigga.
What a boy. In a bed. Okay. Mike Pence, robot man with the fly on the
2024. Yeah, the robot nigga.
You know what I'm saying?
Chinese
man. What final words do you all have, man? Let's start with whoever want to start it out. What final words do you have for going into this 2021 in this Jupiter Saturn energy?
Oh, you be playing games.
He got to. Man, look, y'all get your damn vitamin D intake up. Take immune herbs, build your immune system.
Thank you, brother.
Drink water. Stop drinking all this sugar shit. Slow down on the alcohol. You know, I've been drinking hard of late, but it's all about to stop because it's 2021.
Water, nigga, water.
They got that shit and that vaccine. It's going to make it worse. If you take it. But, hey, remember, wearing a mask will make it worse because all you're doing is breathing in the bacteria that you're supposed to be breathing out. So y'all be safe and keep that shit in your mind.
You talk about that? We talk about that before?
Yeah.
Mass and shit. It's all fucking nuts, nigga.
What's your final word?
Fuck all them niggas, man.
2021. Black Boomer said, "Fuck them all."
Fuck all y'all, man.
Hey, any information you want to give them? You know, Facebook. You know, business. You know, before we leave.
Art, man. I mean, I'm doing an art thing, man.
Oh yeah. Beautiful artwork. Boom. Born out of necessity.
We gotta
check him out on Instagram.
2021, we're coming out.
Fuck you too, pussy.
We're coming out with that political party. Probably about March, May 2021. I gotta get everything down. We are making up. We're taking submissions for names. You want to submit a name? Go to bno1371gmail.com. Submit a name. It can be something local, be organic, something. But we gotta have our own fucking party for our own fucking people. So we can stand up and lobby for shit that we need and not lobby and get the scraps off of what they give us.
ADOS, nigga.
We ain't gonna do that either because that's taken.
Huh?
I can't do it because I'm not a descendant of a slave.
Well, we need to talk about that next time.
Mm-hmm.
How that whole thing worked.
Real talk. I talked to my father. He talked to his father. They don't have no memory of being no slavery shit like that.
That's a discussion that need to be had.
It is. It is.
Because we were supposed to talk lineage. We ain't even really get to that.
We did not get the lineage at all.
Yeah. We'll do that next time.
Can you get it out right quick?
When I get the spaceship out the motherfucking shop. You know what I'm saying?
I thought we talked about that in the whole etymology.
No. That's based on the words. That ain't got nothing to do with lineage.
Damn.
We'll get to it next time. Something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because I know for a fact the state of Georgia profited when they did the Indian Removal Act.
That shit was mean, right?
Whole lot of people.
Who was that, Jefferson?
No, Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson. He was all too happy to do it and didn't have the power to do it because the Supreme Court had made a determination.
We can't start another thing, man.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That's real shit, though.
Yeah.
We need to write that down.
For the next one, though. For the next
lineage and everything that come with it. Just history in general, man.
Well, shoot. Like I say, people, it's always monumental.
Peace to you later, people.
It's always Black Boom. It's always Muddy, Wada, and Bino.
That's right. Bino in the house.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you coming down, man.
That great conversation. That was dope.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Peace.
No doubt.